Someone immediately decides to message me as soon as I go live. What?
Boop. I'm sorry, you're live, and I'm just eating an orange. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, and there's a sneeze coming. Boom! I'm going live now as well. Look at that.
Oh, sorry, chat. I'm getting my microphone with my face.
Yeah, let's go. Let's freaking go. So, the first thing, since we are talking video games tonight, I want to show you some earrings that I recently purchased from Etsy.
Oh, those are cute. I have a Twitter friend who has all sorts of cool like custom earrings, and I adore her. Her name's Kate.
They hurt to have my headset on while I wear these.
Oh yeah, I imagine they're not gonna be comfortable with that.
No, but it looks like they're biting your ear, and they're just so adorable. I love them.
Twitch.tv/skinslip. Let's fucking go. Bam. Now I gotta open up your live stream now.
Ooh, I gotta open up yours. 1 second.
Mute.
I'm gonna turn down the volume on my phone.
And then I gotta click the sword button, so I go to your mod panel instead.
I don't know if I have that option on my phone. I watch you all mobile-like. Because I
don't think you have the mod panel on mobile, but I could be wrong.
I don't think I do. I think I can do mod stuff from mobile.
Yeah, because you're still logged in.
A little clunkier.
It's still your account. You just have to do the / manual type stuff. So yeah.
What?
You were asking me a question? Games. What was the big question? The starting question, you said?
So the starting question, and I think it's going to lead to great discussion, which is why we're starting with it, is what is your opinion when it comes to emulating games?
Emulation's important. It's especially for game preservation for games that aren't on the market anymore. And if you think I'm gonna spend $500 on a fucking Chrono Trigger cartridge for Nintendo, I think that's probably lowball. Probably more than that now. You're insane. I'd rather just emulate it. I know it's been released a million times, but maybe I don't have any of those systems. And if I'm only emulating the original cartridge, it's not the same thing as a remake. So
that is true.
Good emulation is important to the preservation of film or video history. It's like if you go to archive.org's like movie section, there's just like, hey, there's a bunch of dubbed Godzilla movies and a bunch of other movies with like weird dubs and other cuts of stuff that will never be released like legally. There's no legal format for any of that stuff. You know, no one's gonna go get the Tigra or the Titan dubs or fucking Gamera movies, and you know nobody wants the Titra dubs except hardcore Godzilla fans. So they're from like the 50s or they're from like 60s and 70s dubs from TV.
Okay, I was like, I don't even really know what those are, so I'm going to assume you're correct.
They're editions of like Godzilla movies that have never, or Gamera films that have never been released since their either original VHS or TV airing sometimes. So, they, for whatever licensing reasons why, they never got put on a home video. A lot of times, like, Toho won't allow it. They're real purists about their shit. And the last 20 years, they've been really anal about people licensing their stuff. Which is why you don't see a lot. That's why, for a long time, Godzilla movies were all out of print. Because they're just so anal about the presentation. You can't do a new remaster, because some of their remasters suck. Some of their matches suck. Oh, yeah. And they're on the Criterion set. And Toad's like, yeah, we're proud of these. You shouldn't be proud of these. You should be letting Criterion do their thing. Criterion of all people.
Good stuff, though.
They are one of the best. But, like...
But not good enough?
Okay, hold on. There's a troll in my chat, but it looks funny. So let's see here.
Oh, see, my thing just says connecting to chat. No, I gotta get in. I want to see what this troll said.
All right, so I guess it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to say U.S. flag emojis.
Laugh, by the way.
I have a feeling that someone's supposed. I think this person's trying to use U.S. flag emojis, but they just use copy and paste, and that doesn't work. So it just says U.S. So it's like
U.S.
Yeah. So it says if you see a link that says Donald Trump nudes, don't click it. It's a virus that puts American flags between every word you type, and every word says a little U.S., which is supposed to be the fucking emoji, but since they did a copy and paste instead of making it out themselves, it's mangled. It's pretty funny.
That's amazing.
I would normally ban a troll, but that's actually pretty humorous. Just the failure, complete lack of ability to do even proper trolling. I normally wouldn't even mention it, but that's just, I mean, let's point and laugh.
That's good.
Go to my chat, point and laugh. This person's hilarious.
I will. If I see it pop up, I will laugh at them. I will tag them and laugh at them.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, I will. But no, so here's the thing. I was one of those people who for a very, very, very long time would have said, if you are emulating something, you are stealing from the creators.
Okay, so how is me emulating Super Godzilla from the SNES from 40 years ago, 30 years ago now, whatever it is, hurting the company that's never put it out in any other edition? Explain.
Listen, it doesn't.
That's
said
right.
I used to think this.
That's right. It doesn't because they're not making money on it anymore. That's why there's a whole website called Abandonware, sort of old software that nobody has any interest in putting new editions out of, or making it playable on modern stuff. And so here's just the original source. Here's all the files from the CD or whatever. You figure out how to run it, and then people go and figure out through emulating to be able to run that. That's kind of awesome.
though.
Otherwise, you cannot play some of those games, PC games, especially from like 98, 99, 2005. They just won't run. But
they
there's
really
games
don't.
there that have never been put on any other platform, will never be put on another platform because the company's gone, source code's gone, everything's gone through a merger with Activision probably, or 2K, one of the two. They bought pretty much everybody.
Speaking of Activision, what about stuff like GOG? They've recently put out like the original Diablo, which wouldn't normally run on computers, like modern computers, but now with the GOG version, they've got the right software built into it where it will run on the modern computers.
And
how do you feel about that?
I probably would be more likely to buy that than I would anything else. But like I have my Diablo 1 CD, so why don't I just use an emulator to be able to run my CD? I already paid for the game 15 times over. I bought that game. I bought Diablo 2 so many times. And you know what? I'm going to buy that fucking HD remaster. You're damn right.
Yeah,
we're going to definitely play that
so
together.
good.
We have to play that together.
It's going to be so good. Yes, I will do that even if it is laggy as heck on my end.
Same.
I will play that with
We're
you.
just going to be all choppy.
Boom. What's your go-to class in Diablo?
Barbarian, duh.
Oh, Barbarian, of course. You got to give me that jump.
I mean, duh. Leap slam, leap slam, leap slam, leap slam.
Perfect. That's all
Can you tell I've
hear,
played 50,000 hours of that damn game?
I have not played that much of Diablo.
Probably haven't. I probably played 5,000 hours of that game easily, though.
I beat the main story of Diablo 3, though, and I think that should count for something.
I've never played Diablo 3.
Diablo 3 is a really fun game, and at least for me, who never played all of Diablo 2, I think it's fantastic. I don't know, and I also bought it really late in this life.
They departed from some of the things I liked in Diablo 2, and I feel like Path of Exile brought that stuff back, and I feel like the new Diablo 4 that they previewed took that stuff back away and still gone, and I just don't like that. Like streamlining it in the wrong ways, I think. But like,
yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not opposed to it, and I'm definitely gonna play Diablo 4. I'll probably pick up Diablo 3 eventually. We should probably play that together at some point too.
So I have it for the Switch, which is probably the weirdest way to play a Diablo game.
I can capture my gameplay, so I should buy it on my Switch and then.
Oh yeah, then we can play together on the Switch.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
We should do that sometime.
Yeah. I should definitely buy that physical copy someday.
I made myself play through it as a wizard because I wanted to try out something different than my normal typical hack and slash.
I played every class in Diablo 1 and 2. Everyone. All of them. Thoroughly.
Yeah. Like I played, like I said, I played through like maybe the first act of Diablo 2. And I enjoyed it, but then like I don't know. I get bored with games very easily for
Same.
the silliest of reasons. But that's okay.
I do. But you know. Wait.
At what point do you consider something to be emulating versus something to be considered pirating? Like, is there a time frame, or is it just out of print kind of a thing?
Look, don't pirate indie games. I don't give a fuck what you do about big corporations. They don't deserve the money they make.
All right, I like to hear that. Would you purposely pirate a game that you hope would fail? Like Cyberpunk 2077 or the new Harry Potter game that'll be coming out?
I bought Cyberpunk 2077. Like,
I know. Did you like it?
I can't play it because it doesn't run on my computer because it keeps glitching because it crashes every 5 minutes. And the newest update might fix it though. After when that new patch drops finally, the one they just announced, or maybe they already dropped. I gotta download that update. It might actually play finally. So
I have a few games.
I have a 2070. Like I have got a good graphics card, mid-range for that game.
Yeah,
play it.
Yeah, it's fine for that game.
But it's not. It just crashes. I go to talk to somebody and it crashes. I can't. You know in the first mission, the very first one you start the game out, you go to the diner. Yeah. You're in the diner and you go upstairs. You talk to that person. As soon as you talk to that person, the game crashes every time. I can't even get the first. I can't even get the first mission because the game crashes.
Game break right there. Take that.
It worked. It worked until that first patch that they did. The patch actually broke me out of the game.
Oh no!
Yeah, you can actually see me stream like the first 30 minutes of the game, like we just passed that moment. But like,
that reminds me. So I have one. I played
a lot
of Civ 2, right? I played a lot of Civilizations 2, and I liked that so much that when Civ 3 came out, I bought Civ 3 right away. And I bought the expansion for Civ 3 as well. I think it's like Beyond the Stars or Beyond the Sword or something like that.
Sure.
But I could never play the expansion. As soon as I would try to load it, the bar would come up and it would go from 0 out of 100 megabytes loaded to -1 out of 100 megabytes, and then it would just crash.
Amazing.
It would never load the game for me, and I was so disappointed.
Let's see here, I have. God, I swore I had Civilization. Oh, is it Sid Meier's Civilization? I gotta go to S.
Yeah, Sid Meier.
Fuck's sakes. Fucking vanity project.
What?
Nothing. And say goddamn thing. You can't prove it. No one.
You're right. I cannot prove it.
Oh, here it is. I got Civilization 3 and 5. I got 3 complete, and 5 with I think most of the expansions, but I've never fired either one of them up. Oh, I played. Wait. Civ 5. I played for 1 minute.
Hell yeah, dude! We should play Civ 5 sometime. I got that on Steam. Let's go.
I don't know how to play it. I never played it.
That's okay.
I'm also not very fond of. I'm not fond of RTSs. Now, this definitely plays more like a board. Yes, it is. Isn't it?
It's turn-based.
Oh, turn-based. Okay. Well, it's a little better in that case. I'm not really a fan of that whole genre to begin with, but I like them in board game form. So it's kind of weird, right? Like, I'll play Risk. I'll play, name any other European-style, board territory capture game. And I'm fucking and with politics and economy. We'll say Mare Nostrum is another one. It's one of my favorites. There's the board game Civilization, but the video game is unofficially based on. The board game came out.
There's a
board game. There is the original Civilization. It predates Sid Meier's Civilization by a good 15 years.
Okay.
The board game Sid Meier's Civilization is a different game. It's also like Civilization, and also I'd be down to play that. But the real Civilization, or should I say the OG, I didn't say real, the OG Civilization, to differentiate it from Sid Meier's Civilization, because saying Sid Meier over and over again is really annoying. So the OGC, it has it takes 8 hours to play. It requires intense negotiating. It's really like playing a real, you're bargaining with people. You're it's wild, and I've witnessed some of it. I would love to play it. I'm never actually gonna play it because signups for that fill up really quick at most board game cons, and it usually fills up with veterans, people who've been playing it for a while. And the number of games that are for beginners are very small, very few. There are games for beginners, but like they fill up instantly. One of these days, when I finally go to a convention again, I will definitely get on one of those and get to play it.
I have always wanted to play Twilight Imperium.
Oh, that was cool. Oh, he spammed it again, huh, Michael? I don't trust pirating for video games, and from stuff I've seen, game creators will put troll glitches. Yeah, in some cases they've done. There's
I
a
have
few
heard that
glitches,
as well.
but not. It's not actually often. Batman Arkham Asylum, I think, was the last one I remember them talking about, where it would like give you a different, like it just wouldn't let you progress, like you couldn't unlock the next section. You just couldn't get past it because it's a boot. And then like it was like something else happens, and then like it just starts trolling you or whatever.
There was one game I know, and I can't remember what it is, but it was like you would get to like the very last level, and then it would just crash. You couldn't beat the last level because it just wouldn't let you play it.
That's great too. There's so like there's not really a reason to pirate games anymore, and the reason for that is affordable digital copy distribution between Steam and Origin and GOG and Humble Bundle and a few other stores. You can find most games for less than $10. Eventually, you should be patient.
Eventually, if you're willing to wait.
Yeah, you wait a few years sometimes, but eventually your patience is rewarded with, hey, it's $7.99 today. You're like, fuck yeah, bye. The complete, and at that time it's the complete edition for $7.99 special bonus. You're like, flex. So that's the thing. It's like, it's great. I buy every Fire Pro Wrestling. That's the other thing. Some games, sim games from small studios, Fire Pro Wrestling, never gonna go on sale for DLC. The main game goes on sale for a little bit, 20% off. Yep. But it's such a niche program that, and they're a studio out of Japan. We got the hardcore diehard fans, $25 DLCs that are more expensive than the main game. And yes, I definitely doled out for every single piece because it's absolutely one of my favorite games. I gotta get back to running that on stream again. Honestly.
That it reminds me of the train simulator games. Like they have like a million DLCs because it's like eventually you'll get a DLC for like every route that you can take and like every train that ever has existed, and you can just buy them piecemeal, so you can kind of like customize your game exactly how you want them.
So the game cost $30. I bought it for $20 because it was like the introductory price. Okay, ooh. So I bought the game for $20. Later they released a parts crafter, which is like where you can make your own custom parts in game. That's $30. It's more than the base game. It's the same price as the base game right now. And then I bought, and by the way, none of this has ever gone on sale. Then I bought Entrance Craft, which is $20. The Stardom Collaboration Part 1 and 2, which are $20 a piece. So it's $40 for that one company, Stardom's Wrestling. It's all official licensed Stardom characters, right? Then in 2017, New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling did a collaboration pack as $20. Then they did an update for the Junior Heavyweight Division, which is $15. Then they did a new update for $8 in 2018. The Fire Promoter bundle's $20. Then they have a few. There's Yoshihiro Takayama $3 DLC for specifically one character, and that was for a fundraiser though. So like I was gladly paying $3 to help that person's battle with, I think, some sort of cancer. I don't know. I'm not big on like it's like a smaller wrestler in Japan, so I'm not always up on up. And then for $10 I bought the Championship Road. I bought $168 in DLC for this $30 game.
I get it.
So when I say you know, fuck a corporation, I mean really fuck a corporation. I bought this small company's game, and I will continue to buy everything this company puts out. Everything. So because it's a great game, and they listen to because we complained about something, and a week later there was a fix. I mean,
oh nice.
Like these people care about their product. There's a love and craft put to it, and I 1000% will just drain my fucking wallet into someone's love if they're like really passionate about it and are listening to feedback that's necessary.
The game that I most like that with is Crusader Kings.
Yeah, I noticed
and
you're
Paradox
a huge fan
isn't
of that.
the smallest company out there. But yeah, so like right now, Crusader Kings 2, I have so much for them, but like I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I think when I bought Crusader Kings, it was probably $20. But like if you were to buy all of the expansions right now, like all just the expansions, you'd probably be looking at spending
Okay.
another like
So
$150. But on top of that, they have literally just like cosmetic packs that you can buy that would be another easy like $150 that you could get.
so Paradox has 80 employees. So when I say like I like studios that are like small, they're not giant like production houses.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. This is actually more mid-level because I think Yuke's just like
Yes.
28 people or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I've actually heard a lot of the games they've done. Hearts of Iron and Europa Universalis. I cannot say it right. Sorry. I never actually played Crusader Kings. It doesn't look like my kind of. None of these games
It's
look like
not
my kind
your
of games.
kind of game. If you don't like RTSs, like it's a step slower than an RTS. But like if you've ever seen my Sunday streams, that's what I play, and I feel like half the people who play it don't know what's going on. I love you all for watching, because that means you're just watching it for me at that point. But yeah,
That's
no,
the
I
only
like
reason to watch anything on Twitch. Because
so
you're
I played
playing a
Crusader
game
Kings.
and you're good at playing.
I didn't know how to play Crusader Kings for like the first like 80 hours.
I mean,
Like
like
you don't learn for a long time.
If you ask me, hey, do you actually play Fire Pro Wrestling? No, I can't.
No, I just support them.
It's so fucking hard. It's such a timing-based thing. Like, so the game simulation assumes that you are working a wrestling match like a real wrestling match, right? So when you play the game, you have to use low strikes. So like punches, kicks, lariats, smaller impact moves. If you do anything higher, the game just immediately reverses you. So if you push the wrong button, you get reversed. And it's a catastrophic reversal sometimes. You're like, why did he do his finisher? Why did he get to do his finisher on me? I just, so, and you have to slowly build up damage on your opponent, and then you start doing bigger moves like power bombs and suplexes, and then you can do your finisher, and then you can pin, and between all that, you have to willingly take damage from the opponent to make it look like a real struggle. Because if you just completely own somebody, the crowd will boo you. Because you're just dominating, and who cares?
Hey, nothing
There's no
wrong
struggle.
with being the heel. It's fine.
Right. And that's what a lot of people do. They play the game, and they play it like they play a more heelish character. They'll do dirty tricks. They're like they're like marked in the character creator as dirty. So like jabbing people in the face with forks and shit. Stabbing like skewers into their forehead.
Yeah.
By the way, they take those like that, and then they just smack down on them. You're like, oh God, it hurts. I don't know who would willingly do that, but people do that. I see it. I've watched wrestling events where they do it every match, and like, you are all fucking nuts.
Braver than I am. That's
like, I
sure.
appreciate the art, but that's like, even I would do whatever for the art, but that seems for like 80 people in DJ Hyde's backyard. I don't know if that's worth it.
I'll do
so DJ Hyde is. That explains what I don't know what the fucking joke is. DJ Hyde owns CZW. CZW is a hardcore wrestling event. They do like their tournament in death. They get like a couple hundred people in DJ Hyde's parents' backyard. They own property because no one will let him do it. No public land will let him do it. Most major businesses won't let him run because it's kind of considered lower art. But there's actually good wrestling. Like, there's good wrestling happening between the cinder blocks and the light tubes and the thumbtacks and the barbed wire. But there's actually good, like, it's so, like, a lot of times it's just, like, dudes just hitting each other and then someone pins somebody. It's, like, boring. I don't give a fuck. But, like, the good ones, like, tell a story like a normal wrestling match that just happen to be using hardcore shit on each other, which is cool. But, like, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think, yeah. Anyway. Enough slandering of CZW. I love you guys. Anyway.
Okay. Then what was
Outlaw
the
Mud Show? They call it.
What was the first video game that you remember playing? And was it the first one that you owned?
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, see, that's better.
The family had an NES. So
that's excellent. I don't know if it's. I highly doubt it's the first one that I ever played, but I can't remember anything before my first video game that I owned.
I mean, my parents got it late, so we're talking like 87, I think.
Yeah.
88. I mean, like when it came out in 86, right? They're like 2 years late in getting Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. All right, so like those were my first games.
Yeah.
And I had Jaws on the NES.
Oh.
I still have it. I still have it complete in box, actually.
Oh, complete in box.
Yeah,
Fancy.
someday when I move, I'll actually be able to be like, here's my copy of Star Fox complete in box. Here's my copy.
Ooh.
Star Fox 64 it's actually Star 64 with the Rumble Pack that's never been inserted into a system. Still sealed. I never bothered to open the
I
Rumble
bet
Pack.
that is worth something.
The game had played, but like everything else has not been touched in the entire package. I didn't take the poster out. I didn't unfold anything. Everything's still factory folded. I just pulled it out, took the cartridge, slid everything back into the box, put the box away in storage, and then the cartridge is buried in back here somewhere. If you really want, I could dig it out, but
No. You do not need to do that.
Yeah. My first game system was a Genesis, so we went from Nintendo to Genesis.
Oh.
And then from Genesis, I ended up getting Genesis, the Sega CD, the Sega 32X. I got the whole Tower of Power. I had a Sega CD 2, which is the long one, and a Sega Genesis 1, which is the long one. So my Genesis hung over. So it was one of those things. It wasn't like the Tower of Power. It was more like a layer cake of fun. I had WWE Rage in the Cage. I think it's called Rage in the Cage, Steel Cage, whatever. It's on the Sega CD, and it's so much fun. But it's also just It's just like an upgrade of their Raw games. So it's like they had Survivor Series, they had Survivor Series and Raw on Genesis and Super Nintendo, and then Sega CD they had Steel Cage Challenge or not Steel or whatever, Rage in the Cage or whatever it's called. And that was like the next stuff out. So it's the same sprites, but like they're a little bit more detailed, and then there's CD music and
Ooh, CD quality music.
Yeah.
You don't say.
And I had Super Shark, and I think those.
Oh, did you have Echo?
I had no Echo. I did not actually grow up with Echo.
Echo is like such a ridiculously hard game.
It's a good game though. I've played it since, obviously, but
I have not. I haven't played that in a long time. Maybe that's a game we should emulate. I don't know.
But they're stealing. Isn't there an HD
no, I know,
upgrade?
but listen,
Isn't there an HD upgrade of Echo coming or something?
There very well might be. I don't know.
I thought I saw something about Echo because or a new game of Echo. I don't know. I know there's a new Blaster Master coming. That's fucking cool.
Oh, is there really? I have played a little bit of Blaster Masters. I actually have, where there was like a collection of Sega games that I had. I think for the computer, and Master Blaster was one of them.
That's cool. For my Genesis, I had Cyborg Justice, which is a terrible slide scroller and beating up. Where it's cool though. You get to control. You get to customize your robot, but then like there's I can't get part. It's like literally level 1, walk. There's a fucking giant gaping hole in the ground, and you can't jump past it, and you just fall. I don't know how to get past it.
Okay,
and by the way, I own the game still. It's one of those 2 fucking games I still have. I had Landstalker, which I didn't have as a kid. I bought that later. But I had the Jurassic Park side-scrolling game. What is it, the platformer?
Yes, for the Sega?
Yeah.
Yes, it's so good.
And I had what was it? For the 32X, I had Virtual Racing and Star Wars Arcade. I think those were it. So I only had like 2 Sega CD games. I think I had a 3rd Sega CD game, but I just can't remember what it was offhand. You know?
It's fine.
And then I think I had another. I thought one of the 32X games. I think Blackthorn, maybe. No, it was the Mind Adventure. What was that? Fucking the thing where you swing over the Crocs. Help me out here. Atari game. Pitfall, the Mind Adventure. I think they had that on the 32X. I had that. So, I mean, like,
nice.
Not a great bunch of games, but I did probably put thousands of hours into Virtual Racing, perfecting every course. That's all that matters. And every course, with every car, I had, like, if I had recorded anything, I probably would have a fucking world record. I was literally, I could play that game perfectly. It was like fucking Zen Master with that one game. Because I would sit and listen to music. Like, put my Iron Maiden tape in and just listen to it, pause, or wait until it goes to the menu, and then I would just, and it wouldn't be racing, it would just be doing time trials for hours and hours and hours.
For hours and hours
And then I
hours.
played the game and beat it in like one go, with like, when I'm running, not even trying, because I just played practice for hours and hours and
Yeah,
hours.
you've done so many of them.
I mean, I do that with Gran Turismo. I just drive on a track for hours, just listen to a podcast.
Are you good at Gran Turismo?
Good. I can beat all the races. Good, as in I'm not a good driver, because I totally cheat the system.
Courses.
I can cheat. So like I cheat the game a little bit. So you're supposed to drive the best you can, but what I do is gas it, smash people into the wall, fucking use them to get through corners, like pit maneuver people. Like I am the biggest asshole because there's no fucking rules. Who cares?
No,
I can pass
isn't.
all the licensing tests with a bronze average. So I don't give a fuck. I just want to get into my races. I don't care about I'm not here to 100% the game. I don't give a fuck about 100%.
No,
I just
that makes sense.
want to play my game. I don't want restriction to when I can race other than whatever car I might have, which fine. You know, go grind a race until I can buy the car to go play.
Yeah, exactly.
And like then you go to like the best race, so you go to the one of the oval track races, and like you get a car that can do 200 miles an hour with the right body shape. You can literally just hit gas and just fucking zone out. The car will just go on autopilot, whoosh, whoosh, and it slows down the corners, and someone will catch up a little bit, and you just as soon as you hit the fucking, it's like they Gran Turismo 6 they finally put in a friction thing, so now it doesn't work. But 5 and before, you can just find the right shaped car, more of a round car, without the front foiler front flare out, and you'll just grind along. Like if you're playing Gran Turismo 2, 3, or 4, or 2 or 3, it's the Suzuki Escudo. It's a
like how you know which one it is.
Oh, it's a specific car that beats Pikes Peak, but it's like 800 horsepower. Has it's a Jeep. It's basically like a Jeep Grand Cherokee with 2 engines, one for each axle. But then you go and you just fucking max all the stats, but by like putting $1 million in upgrades into it, and you can just fucking hit the gas. It'll ping pong off the walls, and it drives faster in the dirt than most cars on the ground. No, I'm serious. There's a part in like Grand Valley where like there's a zigzag, and every other car will go like this, and it's faster. The scooter will just like a fucking lawnmower. Does not give a fuck. Barely slows down. It's like it's a fucking god machine. It's so broken. You can beat every race in that game that's eligible for. I mean, I've done it. Just out of curiosity.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's not the Suzuki Escudo's not as good in the later renditions, but still really fun car to own in that game.
Oh, it sounds that way.
Just a real blast to drive around, like bomb through tracks, and you're just like, holy fuck, it's so fast, because you'll enter a corner at like 80 miles an hour, skid a little bit, come around, gun it, and by the time you've exited the corner, you're like 140. You're like, it's like
Are you one of those players who has like the wheel accessory for it and everything?
I don't care. Does it make it go faster? No, I don't care. I literally only modify the things that look. Later on, like my favorite car, I'll pimp out. Like Mastermind, which is my 1999 Nissan Skyline that I always get, that I like max out and make into a 900 horsepower god. But then like I get like gold rims and like a reflective paint job and whatever fancy foils and shit I can get. Like I make it look sexy, but not everything. Just my favorites. So like the favorite like 5 or 6 cars. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
Play too much of that game. I probably put thousands and thousands of hours to every one of those fucking games.
That's amazing. Like, I don't think I've put that many hours into any one game. The game that's probably closest to putting that many hours into is probably The Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Did you have friends growing up?
Yes.
That's why.
Oh, okay. Got him.
Because I didn't have friends growing up. I had 1 or 2 friends. And who's going to come over every day and hang out with me? Nobody. And nobody else is paying attention to me.
I'll be honest.
I was a child of neglect, so that's what happened.
I can't really tell you who my friends were before Joel. Joel, I met in I feel like the 4th grade, might have been the 5th grade.
I don't know.
And we hit off from there. But I don't know. I don't really know if I have any people who I would consider to be friends, like that I would hang out with before then. But I mean,
I think my oldest friend's high school, senior year. No, no,
well, most of my
junior year.
friends like start in middle
My
school. Like
sister,
in
my
middle school
sister
and high
was
school, I
probably
had
my oldest
a
friend. Yeah.
yeah.
The,
Huh. Okay.
she's not obviously she's a found family, not real family, but like
Hey,
that's real
whatever.
family to
Still
me.
counts.
So it's actually more important. That's what that
That's
whole
that's
quote
what
is
goal
about.
is.
That's what the
Like
whole quote about the blood of the covenant, thicker than the water of the womb. Literally, the whole
Joel.
quote.
Joel's family is just like literally my second family. In middle school and high school, I was probably at his house like every single weekend. So like I was there a
I
lot.
had my friend Josh was like that, and then I would say he moved in with me when I was living with my parents in early 2000s, and I don't know. I think spending too much time with him kind of like we changed as our friendship changed. It was weird, and then he left. My girlfriend moved in.
Ooh.
Who was this? That was the same person that ended up being my wife. It was from high school. It was with her since high school until our split. So yeah. So my oldest friend, I guess technically my ex-wife is also one of my oldest friends, and so is my friend Sarah and my friend Mike. They're all like I've all known them since high school, but that's the oldest friends I got. And I think with that, I moved around until I was like 10 or 11. So I didn't really have. I had one friend Kelly when I was a little kid. That was it. And then moved again. So lonely childhood, and so of course a lot of video games.
Yeah.
And then,
I did a lot of video games.
95, 96 rolled around. I got the internet, and it was all a lot of internet instead. Because I was connecting with other humans. I found friends finally.
Yeah.
You know, there's only one of those people. Actually, I'm still friends with one person who I met in AOL chat rooms. So that's fucking cool. That's also like high school or so.
You were probably my closest friend that I met purely online. I don't know if I still am in contact with anyone that I've just interacted in an online capacity with. I mean, in any real regard.
I think my closest online friend is Justin, my stout man. He's my
see, I was gonna say stout. I'm glad.
And then
I knew it.
Next would probably be my coven, which is my friend Nessie, Chloe, and Angie, who I love dearly. I made those friends not that long ago, but they're like some of my close friends.
Yeah.
So, and I love all of them. Like I've known them for my whole life. They're all younger than me too. I'm the oldest person in my coven. I'm the
you're the old one, huh? I was the old one in my friends group. I get that.
And my like I'm they're all about like come to me for wisdom, please. I'm like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yes. Why do people do that? I hate it so much. I'm like, listen.
I don't have my fucking life together.
Slightly longer than you. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I was like, excuse me. Under what pretense did you assume that my life was more together than yours? You know.
I was thinking the other day, and this is a bit off topic, but I was thinking the other day, do you think that you could claim the Guinness World Record for the most Blu-rays owned by one trans person?
Oh, by one trans person? Oh, maybe, but there might be someone with more movies than me.
Yeah?
I mean, I do have a couple thousand digitally, so...
I don't know why I was thinking about that the other day, but I was like, you know what? I bet at least it's a really good shot of getting that. But anyway,
I like Z-Man. Me and Z-Man are not as close as me and Angie or Chloe or Nessie. I mean, I love Sean to death, but like it's just a matter of time spent. He's got a kid, so he's got to spend a lot of time with kids, and friends spend a lot of time with me. So it's like,
what are they good for?
You just become more closer to the people you spend more time with. That's all. That's just like a matter of fucking relationship science,
That is.
There's nothing wrong with that. He's still a close friend, and I with Sean. If Sean dropped off connection with me from 10 years and then showed back up, he'd be welcome with welcome arms like a friend, because he's that kind of friend. Like, it doesn't matter how long it's been apart, you just start talking. You're like, hey, it's like old times. Like, hey, who cares?
Yes, that
You
is
know?
how it is with me and Joel.
And
Joel
that's
and I,
true
we don't
friends.
we
You know?
don't always talk all the time, but like when we do, it's just kind of like so
But that's true friends.
like
You know, well, the ones
yeah,
that
we
you
just
can
kind of
just
like
fall
dive
back
back
together.
into it.
Yeah, you just understand. You know, doesn't matter what happened. Life happened. Who cares? We're friends still.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
So.
But anyways, yeah, we've diverged from games. Let me tell
Yeah,
you
we got
the
way
first game
deep
that
into like personal topics and
we did. We did. And
well,
we'll
you
get
know,
back there. Don't
all
worry.
because I had a lonely childhood, so I played a lot of video games and watched a lot of movies.
So I think the first game that I owned, and it's the earliest one I remember like really playing, but I must have played other games when I was younger.
Oh,
Was Mario's Time Machine.
ew.
Yes, my mom
I've
probably
played that.
regretted getting
Ugh.
that for me.
Oh.
I love it in retrospect.
Good.
But here's what I hate about it. I've never beaten it the correct way, and I kind of want to go and play it now just to see if I can. Joel actually hooked
You
me
should
up
do that
with,
for the stream. Your stream, that'd be great.
well, yeah, Joel hooked me up with an emulator, like a SNES emulator. And I have the cartridge, so I could just play it. I just don't have a way of getting that input into my computer. That's the only thing.
Look, there's
I
no
don't
other
know how to
legal
do.
way to get that games. Who gives a fuck if you emulate it?
Yeah, whatever.
Like,
But I could do that. I could do that.
Like if there was one to download for the Switch, you just download the one from Switch. I mean, like it's really simple. Yeah.
Oh yes. No. Listen, this is true. I have all the pieces except for the capture card.
Yeah,
And
which is way too expensive because they're still coming out of the pandemic. You know, I mean,
Yes.
it's still here. And Ontario, as an example, is getting locked down again because they had a surge because their vaccine rollout has been terrible. They announced anyone can get it, and all the vaccine places are like, no. So it was like,
no.
one of those things.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, politics aside.
But yeah, so Mario's Time Machine, I have beaten it several times.
Okay.
But every time that you beat it, it says, "Good job," but you didn't beat it the correct way. If you want the good ending, you got to play through it and do it correctly. And I have yet to figure out what the correct way is, and I refuse to look it up.
So you just want to play it over and over again and stream until it...
Well, that's what I did as a kid, because like, so
See,
like,
I can see you do this. Look, you can see you do like one day a week after work. You just play through and you can beat it.
Play through. Let's go. Let's go.
And then you make notes. You gotta make notes so you don't do the same thing over and over again.
This is true. This is true.
Because you'll fall into a pattern and not realize you're doing a pattern.
What I've done is I've like, because all it is, it's literally just a fill in the blank kind of thing. It would give you like a document, and you would need to fill in all the blanks describing historical events or historical people, whatever. Right. So you fill that in, and if you don't know the answers, you can travel back in time and go talk to the people around that event, and then eventually you have to like deliver the item that you're uncovering to the person that it goes. So like, for instance, one of them is the Declaration of Independence. You have to go find Thomas Jefferson and deliver that to him. And it's great. And I like, there was a time when I just knew all the answers. Like I got so good that I knew all like 15 like levels worth of answers, but I've not been able to beat it in the correct way. But I still love that game. And I remember growing up, every now and then I would literally just like, even though I knew everything, I would still go in and I would beat it, which I think is a big reason why I am the nerd and why I play the kinds of games that I play. Because like, if you think about it, the 3 games that I most fondly remember from Super Nintendo era, that's what I had, was that game, Super Mario RPG, which everybody loves.
I never had it, never played it.
Oh, you, I think, would love it. It's just a down-to-earth Mario RPG. Like,
well, it's a precursor to the Paper Mario series, and I loved Thousand Year Door.
I think it's better than the Paper Mario games. That's just me. But then I make it some hate for that.
Did you play any of the sequels on the DS or not the DS, the Game Boy Advance one?
Which is I've played the 3DS one.
Okay, so it's the third one, I think.
And I've played the one for
there's a Game Boy Advance one,
or the Wii U.
No. And then there's a Super Mario RPG type game as a sequel to Super Mario RPG on the Game Boy Advance.
Is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Mario and Luigi, like
Yeah.
the yeah, okay, that. Yes, I've not played any of those.
Oh, see, that's something to aspire to in the future too. Something to look forward. You can emulate those, play them too.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And then because I was a nerd, I had SimCity for the Super Nintendo, and I love that. Like
uh,
I like
like I never played. Everyone's like, oh, I have great memories playing Zelda. I'm like, I never played Zelda. You know, I played a Link. I think a Link to the Past. I played in the early 2000s when I found a cart at a garage sale for $20.
yeah,
I'm like, $20, sure, and that's a great deal now. But then it was a bit expensive. You know,
I I have it. I've never beaten it. I've gotten like
I never
70%
beaten
of
it
the way
either.
through, and then I'm like, I'm bored.
I never beaten it either. Actually, I actually started playing it on stream too because I have the Retron. But
Ooh.
like, I never continued because I have problems finishing things.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
A
Okay,
game.
so now I remember I had an NES game. The one that I bought with my own money for the first time was
Mhm.
Guerrilla Warfare.
Ooh, what's that?
It's an SNK game, I think, and it's top-down side scroller where Che Guevara and Fidel Castro liberate Cuba. I am not making this up.
Viva la Revolution!
And so you and Che and Fidel Castro, that's the blue and the red player, blue and the blue and the red player, right? You run up the screen until you blow everything up and win. But it had unlimited continues.
Oh.
And you can run around, you can jump in the tanks and drive tanks and like run people over and shoot things, and you get to fight tanks, and there's like intricate like boss battles where they would come out of certain mine shafts and you have to shoot them, and like it was a really fun game, and you can play 2 players simultaneous, and it was infinite lives. So it was one of the few games I got to
That's kind of
play
nice.
all the way through. And playing with a friend's so much fun. You just you accidentally kill each other, like, oh shit, who cares? Who cares? You get infinite
like
lives.
that.
Like, I lost my flamethrower, you son of a bitch. I know, I picked it up. Oh, setting people on fire in that game is so much fun.
Joel,
Yeah, I just
Joel
that gif from Simpsons of him like with the flamethrower.
Oh, yes.
That's me.
Sorry. It reminded me more of Kermit. There's that one Kermit gif that's just him like laughing wildly with an AK in his hand.
Oh god, that's good shit.
I thought
too.
that's what you were doing.
No, I was trying to reference Doug McClure, or whoever it is doing that.
Joel says that I would be remiss if I didn't bring up both Star Trek: The Next Generation video game, which is an impossible game. Like, I have played that game a lot. I've not gotten anywhere close to beating it, and you kind of chose your own difficulty because you could play as any character on the game. But if you played with some of the better characters, especially I think if you played with Picard, if Picard ever got killed, the game was over. Like, you had to keep Picard alive.
Like, what was that one? It was a Nintendo, the Star Trek 25th Anniversary Edition, where it was just like a full-on like adventure game on a Nintendo cartridge.
Yeah, it was something like that.
My friend had that. We played the fuck out of that. That was a cool ass game. That's the only Star Trek game I played on the console. So.
There was that, and then do you remember the like Jungle Strike video games?
Oh, I played the fuck out of those. Those are some of my favorites.
Yes, they're so good.
I played all the way up until what is the LA Cop one where it's like one on the PlayStation. And it's not Strike game, but it started out as a Strike game. It's called LA Takedown or something like that, and it's a 3D like policing game.
I don't know. That could be.
But it started out as a Strike game, and then became that. There's 4 Strike games. There's Jungle Strike, Desert Strike, Soviet Strike, and Urban Strike. Oh, I nailed it!
Boom!
I had Desert Strike growing up, so on my Genesis.
I think I had Jungle Strike growing up.
Oh, that's one of the games I've almost beaten too.
See, I never got far in it, but I loved it because like the first level takes place in Washington D.C. And like that's what I grew up outside of Washington D.C. So it was sweet being able to blow up terrorists / blow up the Washington Monument. Because I'm like, I've been there. I know where that is. That's also why I like Fallout 3 so much. It's my favorite Fallout, just because I'm like, oh hey, I know how to get to all these places. I've been on
The
this
thing about the
method.
Desert Strike game is, me and my friends were just played. We had it. I owned it, so I played it a lot. And like, you got to be really methodical with those things. You got to
Yes,
move
you
to one
did.
section, kill everything there. Be very dodge bullets. Then you got to move your thing over, and it moves to the next hex
And
essentially.
it was the weird like 3/4 perspective, and like everything moved on like a weird
And it was
grid.
isometric. It's called. It was isometric perspective.
Isometric. Thank you.
And it was a full map, so you just went from screen to screen, but it scrolled the map along. So you went to an edge and went whoop. Almost, it was really almost like it felt like you were flying, but it's literally there's nothing you can do between those transition from here to here. So it's like
Oh, I don't
it's
remember
like a
that. I don't
sneaking.
think Jungle Strike was like that. I think Jungle Strike was fluid. I don't think there was any loading. Well, there was no like screen by screen kind of a thing. But I really enjoy that. Then me and my brother Sean, we would play the mess out of Stunt Racer Fx.
The mess? What the hell?
Oh, is that not something that
It's
I said that a lot growing up?
it was just like, yeah, wow. I was like, oh, you just censored yourself for some reason. I'm so confused.
I do that a lot. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
oh
we would
heck.
play the mess out of Stunt Racer FX. It was like this kart kind of racing game, where there was so it starts off with 3 different vehicles you can play as, and they all have like these big googly eyes on them. There was like a little tiny like coupe. There was a race car, and then there was like a monster truck. And you would just be able to do these different races with them. And if you won all of them and you did it fast enough, you could unlock a motorbike. And we didn't know about the motorbike for a long time. And then one day I unlocked it. We lost our fucking shit. Like, I'm surprised my mom didn't yell at us because we were screaming. We were like, what is going on right now? It was
Strike
so
series.
good.
All right, the last strike. Oh yeah, there was gonna be nuclear strike or nuclear
Yes!
strike. Oh, so there was desert strike,
Them
return
back.
to the Gulf, which is the first one. There was jungle strike, urban strike, silver strike. There's actually nuclear strike. I forgot about nuclear strike. That was on PlayStation 1. And then there was one more. Future Cop LAPD was going to be Future Strike. Was what it's going to be called.
Okay.
It started as Future, and then it became in mid-series. They changed it because they like made this new vehicle with the X1 Alpha, which is like a car that can turn into a robot and a hovering pursuit vehicle, or whatever. But it was like cool. It was a really cool game, but it's basically the same. It's the next movie. It's Future Strike, but they changed it up. So now you're being a cop and you're like arresting felons and shooting down people and doing that stuff kind of thing.
I like it. Oh gosh, I just remember. Okay, I lied. The first game, I think, I might be off about this. If it's not the first game, it's got to be close. Was an old computer game, an old computer game for. I'm not even sure if it was Windows that was on this computer. But it was this game called Concord 3D, and you play as this. It's okay. I cannot find anywhere on the internet that says this game exists. Like you play as an airplane, and you just gotta shoot these invading aliens that like they have spaceships that kind of look like a little bit like TIE fighters, but a TIE fighter that's made up of like 12 polygons total. Like this is like like if it's Windows, it's got to be like Windows like 2. Like it's old. Like it was on the computer that we had in like 93, 95, somewhere right around there.
The ones I played were Miramar, which is a DOS game where you just flew a plane at
Miramar?
Yeah, Miramar, like the place.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know it is,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, what a weird place to set a game.
It was just a flight simulator of some sort. I don't know. I had a bootleg copy of it I stole from the school computer lab. So I found out if you just copy the files to the hard drive, it won't delete the files if you keep the computer on and you put a new diskette and you can copy the files.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
You couldn't. The school had disabled the copy diskette option, so you couldn't copy a diskette, right?
Right.
So like that was the trick around it, was the copy from the diskette to the computer diskette, because they didn't think about that. Because a lot of times when you did that, it didn't work.
Right.
Because of like some unseen information. But Miramar didn't care. So the other one I played that was notable is A10C Warthog.
Why does that one sound familiar to me?
Oh no, that's not the one. What the fuck? That's a different one. That's from 2011. There's a.
Wait, oh my goodness! I just found a video. I just found a video for Corn Cob. It's a real thing. People remember it. I'm so excited.
It's called A10 Tank Killer. I played A10 Tank Killer from 1989.
A10 Tank Killer.
I played thousands.
Okay,
I played that all the time, just flying around and doing everything but the actual game. I never actually played the actual game I was supposed to play. I just flew around and just did things.
Sorry, I am just in love with this terrible game. I gotta figure out how to get this game.
What, A10?
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I didn't know anyone could find it.
What?
I looked earlier and I
was
couldn't find it. Concord 3D by LGR. Maybe not LGR. That might be just whose
LGR's video. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, he found this rare game that you've been looking for a long time.
It's so good. I think he found it. He found it 6 years ago. So like, big surprise.
But that means there's probably a copy somewhere for you to play.
I am gonna try to play it. I will let everyone know next time.
You have to tag. You have to PM me when you do that, so I make sure I show up. All right.
I will. I
want to see you excitedly play this.
So excited. I'm so excited.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You don't understand. I've never seen her this excited before in my entire life. She's so giddy.
So
she's so fucking adorable. My heart is melting right now.
It's like you're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, holy shit, Jocelyn, this game has like 40 pixels total in it. And I'm like, I know, that's why it's so good.
I can appreciate those things, you know.
Though you know what it reminds me of though? A little bit. Me getting excited for this game because I know it's gonna be just awful when I play it, because nostalgia. But I don't care. It reminds me of Mech Warrior 2. I purchased Mech Warrior 2 because the cover of the game looked badass, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah, same. I had it also.
So yeah, exactly. So I loaded it, and for the first, like, I would say probably several hours. I would say up to 10 hours of playing it. I literally did not know that in order to move, you had to hit the number buttons to control your speed. The only way that I knew how to move is that, like, if you turn left and then you turned right, I know I did that backwards, then you moved forward just a little bit. So like I would try to get to my mission objectives by moving back and forward just a little bit by every time. And like you had a 20-minute like time limit on the first mission, and like I would just barely get to the first objective in that 20 minutes. And I'm like, how are people doing this? This is such a hard game. Then I found out you just hit the 5 button and you go just
forward,
flying through the game. And I'm like, oh my goodness, there's stuff lets go. That's nice.
Oh man, I miss Ski Free.
Ski Free? That sounds familiar.
That's a PC skiing game where at the end you get eaten by the Yeti.
That's why it sounds familiar. Yes, yeah. I've played that.
Everyone, most people our age have played that. It came free with Windows for a long time.
Play it. We used to play this before our typing class in middle school. That's where I played Ski Free.
They don't even do that anymore.
No.
Kids today don't even understand what the fuck a typing class is. This is great.
No. I got to save this real quick. Let's just put a start by here. Perfect. Done. I don't want to forget this tab. All right.
Man, I wish I could do a dab right now. Fuck. No.
There you go.
Cannabis dab.
I'm sorry. That's so bad.
High. You just made me want to get high now, though.
That was so bad. I want to get high now to forget that.
No. I don't want to forget it. I want to enhance this moment.
I want to enhance this moment.
We don't smoke to forget. We smoke to enjoy.
Okay, so tell me, how many hours of your life have you put into Pokemon?
Not a lot. Only once have I ever made it to the Fatal 4, or whatever they're called, the final, whatever the last 4 dudes are. Only once, and then like I couldn't beat them, and I gave up. I told you, I've only. I
know. It's fine. Actually, here's the thing. So like,
it's Emerald, by the way. It wasn't until Emerald, by the way. I've been playing them since. I got my first one was Yellow.
Yep.
Because Blue and Red were just sold out, and Yellow was the newest one, and like whatever.
Perfectly fine. Yeah.
I didn't care. I said I don't care what color. I just want a Pokemon game. I want to play.
I just want to play.
Yeah. And so yeah.
So my
So I
my
played the
wife,
original game, and then I played Emerald, and then I played Black from Black and White, and that's it.
Black is my favorite.
And I've never played more than a couple hours in any of them except for Emerald for whatever reason.
That's fine. So my wife finished Pearl, but I don't think she remembers that very much. But she has been playing Pokemon Sword, and she's actually farther than me. Sorry, Shield. She's actually farther than me in Pokemon Shield right now, which is adorable because she's really into it, and she's like gun ho, and I'm so happy
Do you each
because
have
like
your own
all my
Switches?
built up knowledge, I'm like, I can help you. I can help you for once. For one thing, I'm smarter than you, and it's so great.
Do you each have a Switch of your own?
No, it's the same Switch.
Otherwise, like, you
Which
should each get one of them and then play them.
that would be ideal. Listen, if we did that, then she would have had
Relationship
Animal
goals.
Crossing on hers.
Look, relationship goals. I want a girlfriend who wants to play the other half of the Pokemon duos with me.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Because like otherwise, it's just going to be me doing it. And,
Yeah,
like,
right.
Who wants that?
That way we can play and battle and compare notes and have fun together.
Together.
Yeah, I don't have to play the same game twice. To unlock all the different Pokemons.
I know. That's always the worst part of it. But they make it easier in the newer generations.
Yeah. You know, it's like in 2000, 2003, let's see here. 2004, 2005, 2004, like around there, like between like 2002 and 2004, I lived basically in solitude with like barely even talk to my girlfriend on the phone, and me and my friend were having a spat, so we didn't really talk, and so like,
Oh.
I watched a lot of anime and played video games. When I was able to focus on everything because there was nothing else to do. So it's interesting that I can't seem to finish the game now. Or finish a series for that matter.
It's fine.
Do you know it took me 6 months to finish BNA? Mostly because of computer issues, but that's beside the point. Brand New Animal, which is on Netflix. It's an anime.
Oh, thank you. I was like, listen, dog. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yo, Chief, can you back this truck up a bit? What? The
I'm
fuck
not hip
is a
with the
BNA?
lingo you kids are using.
BNA, Brand New Animal. It's also the name of like the
Thank you.
type of DNA or whatever they have inside the show. But like, so it happened was me and my friend were watching it. I kind of got interested in it. My friend's like, "Oh, we should get back into it," and then her computer died for 6 months because she couldn't get a new computer for 6 months, right? And then her computer got back online. Yay, my computer back online. Literally the day before we were supposed to get back, that's when my computer died and I had to buy a new one. But I was out without a computer for like a month. And then we finally got to finish the series, the last 4 episodes. But like, it's so hard for me to finish series. It's like,
I get it,
especially in a longer series. Like, if it's like 6, 8 episodes, I'm pretty good. I'll probably watch it all in one shitting. I almost said for some reason.
Tee hee.
Tee.
So me and my friends growing up, we were nerds in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you okay?
Yep, just a random nerve twitch. You gotta keep going.
Okay, cool. Sorry. And instead of like we were all into Pokemon, but we all got really, really into Dragon Warrior Monsters. Dragon Warrior Monsters was a bit like a Pokemon clone, but it took place in the Dragon Warrior universe, Dragon Quest universe now. And we would play the hell out of those games. You couldn't trade with other people. You couldn't do anything like that. No battling between people. But we would play those just separately, like next to each other on the couch for like hours. Same thing with Dragon Warrior 3 when they re-released that for the Game Boy Color. We would play that literally for hours, and you could name your people in that one. So we would just name all of our like characters like after each other, and it was so good.
That's cool.
It's so good.
That's cool. In high school, me and my friends got into a Pokemon card game because I was brand new at the time.
Yeah.
So when you now you're into Pokemon, I'm like, hey, I'm actually familiar with that, how to play that game.
I think Joel is actually the one that got me into the Pokemon card game. I think he was the first one that showed me what Pokemon cards were. I had already had Magic cards by that point. Uh, but jokes on him because I got him into Magic. So, and his life kind of spiraled down from there. It's not true. He actually was always better than me at Magic. So,
two addictions are hard to hold. To be fair, I never tell you I played in a grinder for Worlds once.
For Magic Worlds,
Pokemon Worlds.
Pokemon Worlds. That's awesome. No, you didn't tell me that.
I would say 2010, 2011 maybe.
Okay.
One of those. Whenever that was the Worlds were in San Diego, there was a grinder. We went down for the day before. Yeah, obviously, which is when the grinder is. We all played in it because that's the third best person in my city at the time. Later to become number one in my city, but I've won a city championship. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Hey, listen, that's pretty impressive.
It's not really that impressive when you consider my opponents at the time were a lot of 12-year-olds that I taught how to play.
Their fault for not having age leagues,
Yeah, my fucking infinite income compared to them didn't really have anything to do with it at all, did it? It was all in fun. They wouldn't have gone to Worlds anyway. Let's be honest.
Those kids sucked ass. I didn't even know why they were playing. Wasting my goddamn time.
There were some kids where I was like, this kid's got a future in this game if he wants it. Like you know when the kid's got the, he looks at it and just goes, what are this and this and this, and you're like, that's a good fucking combo. This shit's got it. This kid's got it. Fuck.
This kid's got it. This kid knows what he's doing.
I mean, or when you play against them and they're impeccable with the rules and their timing, you're like 9.
You need to calm down there, buddy.
No, do not calm down. Absolutely not. Lean into that. Could be a fucking job if you make it. I mean, like, not the best job, but it's still you're doing what you love.
That makes you a better person than me. I'd be like, listen.
Yeah, like I'm never gonna talk down about that. About that kind of people. My point is like, I mean, like, sometimes I taught a lot of kids how to play Pokemon, and taught a lot of kids how to play Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And you couldn't always tell with the kids with Pokemon because it's a much simpler game. Like a much simpler game. It's like, it's literally training wheels for Magic. Because getting those kids into Magic was very easily once they learned been playing Pokemon for a while. Because it just appealed to them to play with the older kids. The older kids didn't mind if they played with the weaker decks. They were like nice filler for our Commander games. Commander was still an unofficial product. But I had convinced everyone to make Commander decks.
You and your EDH. Get out of here.
I convinced the entire store to make EDH decks. At that point, this is like early EDH stuff, And we're still like there's obviously bigger communities, but like that's it was just like 10 people, but we got some kids in. They would play regular decks because they didn't have Commander decks, and we're like, whatever, sure.
Yeah, whatever. You're
having fun with us. It's fine, as long as you're having fun, you don't feel like and no one would pick on them or anything. We would just like block their attacks, redirect the damage to each other like fucking assholes or whatever. But like, we play nice with them because it's like having them have fun. But the rest of us be competitive and cutthroat as fuck with each other. We would like, it would be like, oh man, I only got 20 life, and then like, oh really? And fucking Timmy over here or Todd with his like 14 fucking 1/1s squirrels because he's just a little fucking squirrel like attacks me. I let this fucking little bastard hit me for 12, and then what happens? What fucking happens? No, like
nothing.
Aaron slits my fucking throat. What the fuck? From across the table. Anyway, things like that. It's like I let the little kid have a little fun, and some asshole, one of my asshole friends, would swoop in and kill me. Fuck! It's like I'm trying to be nice, and like we're being cutthroat with each other. It was pretty funny though.
Too bad. This is what niceness gets you.
Hey, the kids actually won occasionally too. I was like, oh, that's funny.
That is always the most.
I got 2,040 40s, and like, oh well, I guess the kid just killed all of us. That's neat.
So, I distinctly remember this one time at Chuck E. Cheese.
Hi, kitty.
I was playing. Oh, look at the kitty. Oh, so cute. So adorable.
She wants booty
I
rubs.
was playing.
I'm giving her a booty rub.
Like a wave racer type of game. It was one of those kind of games, and it was 2 players. Like, so you race in the person next to you. And I was playing, and like this 4-year-old kid was playing, and this 4-year-old kid fucking crushed me. Like, it wasn't even close. And like when it got over, his dad, no joke, his dad laughed in my face. He
What
was
an
like, "You just
asshole.
got beat by a 4-year-old," and
What
I
a
was
piece of
like,
shit.
"Yeah."
That's a bad fucking
It's
example for a
funny
kid.
now. Like I was kind of crushed then, but now it's kind of funny. But I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
dude."
what that's just a bad parent right there. Like that's setting a real poor
He
example
would
for your kid.
support his kid's dreams. What are you talking about?
But come on now, that's really rude.
I would also say that is very rude. Yes.
But beside the point, you got beat by a 4-year-old.
I got destroyed by this 4-year-old child, and I mean, I was like 8 at the time as well.
I mean,
I had this thing called hand-eye coordination that this kid shouldn't have had.
me and my friend would play GoldenEye a lot, and to the point where we were playing Golden Gun on like a level where, and like it was to the point where we knew where each other are, and we're trying to peek to shoot, but you know if you peek, you can get shot. So
This is true.
like we're like pew pew, peek shoot, we're doing peek shoot, peek shoot, like trying to shoot each other peeking, right? Oh my god, it's the silliest shit. There's like a fucking hallway. We're both behind a pillar, like
So did you guys always play as Odd Job?
Oh, he's banned.
Oh, you guys ban stuff? You know, that's fine.
Odd Job's only banned because he's tiny. Hard to hit.
Joel, when we played Magic, he wouldn't ever let me play with Dark Ritual. Like that was one of the few cards that were banned in our format just because of
That's
how
lame.
great it is.
It's not that great. Come on now.
What? Did you
Just
get
fucking
3 mana
counterspell it.
for a 1-mana card?
Just counterspell it.
Oh, please. You think we played blue? Only little bitches play blue.
Well, that's your fucking fault. I don't counterspell your Dark Ritual. Get fucked. Season song, get out of here with that shit.
Get out of here. But yeah, so another video game related thing.
Yeah, baby
I got
cat.
my first job solely so that I could buy a PlayStation 2.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
with that money, I bought, like with my first paycheck, I bought a PlayStation 2 and I bought Tony Hawk 3. And that's probably still my favorite Tony Hawk to this day. Though the remakes for 1 and 2, the remaster that they've done, is beautiful. And if they do that to the third one, I would love it.
Everyone was talking about Tony Hawk, but Tony Hawk 2 would come out because they're like literally really close to the first time. Like they only released it like 9 months apart or something, I think.
Okay.
Maybe a year apart.
Maybe.
So like, I got Tony Hawk 2. That was my first one. I had 2. I still have 3, 4. Underground 1 and 2. I don't have Project 8. I need to get Project 8. That's the one I need to get. And I need number 1 still for the PlayStation probably. But yeah,
I
love those
Go ahead.
games.
I do too. Like they're just so good.
What's your favorite main character?
You know, there's not a lot of hidden characters that I actually unlocked. I like the
That's
Neversoft
not what I
Eye from
fucking
Tony Hawk
asked.
3.
My ass, what's your favorite hidden character in this franchise? I don't care which one you unlock.
Oh, okay. Let me rephrase this. I don't know of many because I really only know the ones that I've unlocked. So I'm gonna go. Even though I really enjoy the Jack Black character in the new Tony Hawk game, I really like the Neversoft Eye that you could get in Tony Hawk 3.
What game? I'm gonna double check my brain. I liked part 4 with Jango Fett, aka Boba Fett, because with him you can literally fly to the skybox.
Oh, can you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
If
amazing.
you do one of the specials, you get a little boost off, and you can keep doing the special because you keep filling the special bar, right?
Yeah.
And so you can just get the spot box, and in some levels you can get lodged in the skybox and just stand there like, huh. But yeah, mostly you just hit the skybox and then you get stuck in the skybox and you gotta do tricks to get out of the skybox, and then yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, try not to bail out of that move.
There's of course Spider-Man. That's a famous one.
Spider-Man. Oh, I forgot that Spider-Man was in one of them.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, Jango Fett for the win.
What's your favorite genre, or do you have a favorite genre of video game?
Metroidvania.
Oh, you like the Metroidvania games?
Roguelike games. Roguelike platformers are like Rogue Legacy.
Oh, I was gonna say like a Rogue Legacy. It all makes sense.
Love those games. Big into racing games.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
For closer simulation or arcade, but not like kart racers. I'm not so much into, though. I obviously have Mario Kart and play it a lot. I say I have to
I think
blow dust off my fucking Switch real quick.
I think my favorite has been probably RPGs. RPGs and strategies are probably my two favorite, just in general.
I didn't have any of those growing up, so.
I just like the slower paced games because, especially like for me, sometimes I get distracted and I can just like pause it and then come back to it, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's the story. I'm back. Well, like the fast paced ones, like car games, sometimes I just doze off partway through. Not doze off, but I kind of like, I don't know.
Like I really like
not as with the Twitch stuff.
I like vehicular combat games too, like Twisted Metal. I miss those.
I never did play any of the Twisted Metal games.
I like shooter games, like first-person shooters. I like top-down and side-scroller shooters also.
The only shooter games that I like are the Time Splitters, which is why I played it on stream that couple times.
I have Future Perfect on my GameCube that I can't play on stream yet.
How come?
I don't have the cable for it.
Oh,
I need the cable
right.
for the HDMI, the converter.
I thought there was something else going on.
No. This time I spent $35 in a cable yet.
Well, sounds like a you problem, doesn't it?
Yep. There's no point in prioritize doing it until I'm going to move.
Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I don't know how to set it up, so.
I would love to see you play Future Perfect. I feel like Future Perfect has your kind of humor in it. Like, I don't know exactly what your kind of humor is.
There is a way to play online with each other.
Still?
Via hooking it through the computer in some fashion.
Because I have it for the PlayStation 2.
Oh, we cannot do that.
Okay, it doesn't work.
It has to be on the both
far.
same system.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I've always been terrible. If there's a genre that I am the worst at, it is 100% the first-person shooter genre, FPS. I'm just bad. Like when I get shot, I'm like, what's happening? Where am I being killed from? And then I just die.
I mean, like I played Doom 2, Wolfenstein,
Didn't play any of them. Nope.
Right. Quake 2, Quake 3, nope. Quake. Let's see here. I went from there. I went to some various games here and there, but Battlefield 2. I played so much Battlefield 2 that I became so good at it that I actually was on a minor league team.
Oh yeah, tell me more about this minor league team. I forgot you were on there. You told me a little bit when you were just like completely schooling me in Call of Duty that one time.
Right.
But tell me more about your.
So I just joined. They had an open application. I came for tryout. They liked me, so I joined the junior ranks, which means, I had all the shit duties, which is fine, but played a lot of engineer and medic.
Okay, those are bad things to play as?
The guns are a bit meh. So
as the medic, that makes sense. The engineer, I don't know what the engineer does.
Because the thing about the engineer, so here's what the old strat in Battlefield 2, which I missed. They don't have this anymore in any of the Battlefields, because none of the Battlefield maps have ever been as big as fucking Battlefield 2.
Okay.
Battlefield 2042 is probably the last time, I should say, they had any of that kind of stuff. So, because I flew VTOLs in that game. Thousands of hours of VTOL flight in Battlefield 2042. Just driving people to combat. I didn't have any guns myself, really. It's just a transport for troops. You just drop a whole squad off every time. You go back to the cart. The thing is, they get blown up a lot when you're a bad pilot. I rarely got blown up. Anyway.
Oh, nice.
When I played Battlefield 2 in the team, my jobs were frequently on helicopters were to repair the helicopter. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
The way it works is you get a medic and an engineer with his ammo pack, right? Because when you're doing the repair, you can't refill ammo. They're in the front seat, in the passenger seat. Then you put like the regular assault troops on the fucking machine guns, and you had 2 engineers. And the engineers, their whole you're getting shot at, and your whole job is just to do this. La 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 la. Cooldown happens. You'll pull out your gun. Usually, I just use my pistol and ka 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 ka. Da 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 da. I was actually very, very good at headshotting with the pistol while the vehicle's flying in motion. I can't do it anymore. I have nerve damage now. Like that's like gotten to the point where I can't do that kind of accuracy anymore. So
Right.
I'm terrible at shooters now, mind you. So if you look at how I play now, it's like, what? You were like a semi-pro. I'm like, yeah, I used to be when I was in college. I had to decide between the college or the gaming, and I chose college, which I didn't finish. I should have chose the gaming, but c'est la vie.
So that kind of reminds me. I've seen some great TikToks of Call of Duty Warzone stuff where this person's like, "Listen, I only use the car," and the squad's like, "Why can't I just have a normal player for once?" So like, I don't know how much of Warzone you've played.
I played a bit. I watched Summit play a lot because sometimes I just.
So you know how there's at least one warehouse in the game where it's just a bunch of whatever lanes of stuff in there.
Oh, airport.
He somehow gets the car in there, and he managed to kill probably 5 players while in the car inside of just that warehouse because everyone's like, "Why is there a car in the warehouse?" Like they have no idea how you can get the car in the warehouse.
Why is there a car here? Bring the car in here.
It's great because he is so skilled with that car. Like he was just running over people left and right, and it's so good to watch. That, and there is this other lady who just is a sniper, and she's like probably in her mid to late 50s, and everyone just calls her grandma, and grandma just head snipes people all the time. It's so good.
So like Battlefield 2, I went back to casually playing Battlefield 2, right? And it went on for a while, and there's a big gap between Battlefield and Battlefield 3, where they did like Bad Company and some other games.
Yeah.
And in that time, I kind of just fell off playing shooters, so I didn't really play anything after that.
Yeah.
Right? Then early 2011, I think. I'm at Sony Online Entertainment, which is the former company subgroup, which is now known as Daybreak Entertainment, their own company now. They had the convention thing where all like their employees. It's for the employees only. It was a big budget thing for the employees only. It's not like and select fans got to go.
Oh, I was like, how did you get in there then? So
I went in because I was a board gamer. I had my own convention store. I was selling games at Strategicon, and the person who organized it came up to us and said they really liked our attitude and our enthusiasm, and they wanted us to be the sole board game provider.
Ooh, that's huge.
So we took our own, like, fuck yeah.
That's
absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. As you know, as you notice, if I like something, I'll get real passionate about it, and then suddenly you like it.
Listen.
In fact,
you say that. I have not yet watched most of the movies. Oh, by the way, when this is over, I have a question for you. But continue for right now.
So yeah, I'm there. That's not even the point of the story. That is a nice little side story, right? We're just starting. We're starting, so mostly we're losing money going to these events.
Yes.
We lost big money going there. We didn't make a lot of sales. It was like video game convention. Nobody wanted to buy some board games. Anyway, so I guess it was actually, now I'm remembering, it was a fan convention because they had big announcements and everything, and they announced the launch date for, they announced the launch for the beta of PlanetSide 2.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
I'm watching this one, this is really cool. And then they had you can go sit down and play it there at the convention. Hundreds of other people. Plus other people at other, they had, already put out private betas, so there's already people online from around the world playing too.
Okay.
There's a couple hundred people on the server, which is probably what you get now. But I remember I'm sitting here at this place called The Crown. I'm playing the Vanu. What's that? My friend's like, I don't know. I've never seen that. Is that like a new vehicle? No, it's literally 670 Sunderers in a single file line rolling across the fucking battlefield, heading right for us. And they decided to do a Sunday raid the entire map. So the other two teams collaborated on it with each other to do a Sunday raid in the Crown, which means that everyone got pulled Sunderer, which is a multi-man vehicle. No one gunned any. Everyone just pulled their own Sunderer, and everyone drove a Sunderer to the Crown. You drive them up one at a time, up this one hill. It's a very narrow path. You can get one or two, so it's like a big fucking clusterfuck of our own cars getting wrecked and knocked off, and people are blowing their vehicles up mid because they're like running out on foot, like throwing vehicle mines and just trying to. It's chaos. It's beautiful chaos. But I'm just like, I sat there and I was like, I love this game. I played the game so much. It's like, so I can't play MMOs because between Battlefield 2 and PlanetSide 2, I played enough WoW that I almost ruined all my friendships because I stopped hanging out with people. Stopped talking.
You have WoW now. Why?
I was addicted. I was full on addicted. It was the second ultimatum the wife gave me. Stop getting addicted to games.
And you were like, no, goodbye.
So guess what happened when PlanetSide 2 happened? I was playing 16-hour days, running 100-man platoons. That was a 48-man platoons, excuse me. That's 4 squads of 12 each.
Oh, it's so much. It's so much. I couldn't do that.
It's just like, okay, I need Alpha Squad and Beta Squad to go to so-and-so complex, and I need you guys to go to that power plant, the biolab. You gotta go to the biolab and take that. We're gonna stay here and we're gonna support whoever is having a problem first, you know. And then I would coordinate people, and then I need to take you out of the complex. You need to go to the biolab. They're having problems. Like, we're going to the biolab, and then everybody, come to the biolab. Come to the biolab. We gotta do a max crash. Oh, what's a max crash? Everyone gets a max suit, which is a mecha suit with like shotguns, or in our case, lasers, right? And we all jump through the teleporter or the bouncy pad, and we just crash a location with max suits and just swarm them. Blah 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 blah. So your job is you either are. There's 3 things you could be at that point.
Yes.
A max suit driver, an engineer to repair max suit driver, or a medic to revive max suit drivers, because you need both medics and engineers for max suits. So I was a medic all the time.
Medic.
I probably spent 3,000 hours playing medic easily. Had every gun unlocked. I had paid no money into it at that point. And then I became a whale and started buying all the ammo, gun packs, and skins, and yeah.
Of course you became a whale.
Yeah, I was addicted.
Don't know, a whale typically, if I know correctly, is someone who buys all the expensive stuff because they can, for the prestige.
Or addiction, in this case. They wanted to have it all.
Or in
my case, I didn't want to miss any of the rare or limited edition stuff.
Yes.
No, it might have been. I was like, I'm collecting movies this whole time, right? But I stop for big periods because I'm doing things like spending $300 in digital objects that I don't even have anymore because I don't think they exist anymore.
I'm really glad that you don't do that anymore, because I can just imagine you with like Star Citizen, like buying those like tens of thousands of dollars shit.
Not a fan of those kind of games.
And I'm just like, I'm glad that you're not doing that.
Never a fan of Eve, but I listen to a lot of Eve radio because I have a friend who's a DJ on it.
I would love to get into Eve. I think I would like Eve. Me just getting a little tiny mining ship and just mining.
Oh my god. Yeah, no.
No,
Eve, I think people like literally ruin each other's real life lives over Eve. So I'm like, I
don't need to.
I was in the Eve community, like I said, but I wasn't actually playing Eve. I was watching people play Eve, and I was listening to Eve radio because I had a friend who's a DJ. Heard all sorts of horror stories about them going into like the corporate jobs and fucking with them, and like I'm like, no, I'm good.
No. That is actually, I remember when like there was that one like treachery, like
in-game treachery. I've heard amazing stories of that. That's hilarious.
Like I heard one like there's probably like
the IRL shit is where I'm like, oh, this community's not for me.
The real life stuff is boring, but I'm talking about like the one where like a side in the middle of a battle just switches, and because of that, like somebody like people lost like $100,000 worth of like ships, and you know that because of all like the currency trading that you can like figure out. And I'm just like, I'd be pissed about that if that happened. Hopefully everyone had insurance. I doubt they did.
Can you imagine investing 100,000 in real world dollars into a fucking game?
No, I cannot. And I know that they didn't. I just know that is the value of their ship. They put in the time as opposed to putting in the money.
Right.
But I'm just like, holy crap.
A lot of work to lose that ship.
And it's a lot of work, in all fairness, to infiltrate an organization and then turn.
I respect both ends of it. I respect both ends of it, right? Like,
I love it.
I just don't like the IRL horror stories I've heard. So
no. I've heard those same kind of horror stories about like, especially Final Fantasy MMOs. Like those ones that can go on, like those fights that used to be able to go on for like a day. Like those sound terrible.
I mean, I've been in a 14-hour battle for the crown before, where they're literally just in a pitched battle the entire time. And I pitched.
14 hours?
And I mean a pitched battle, as in like there are 500-600 people in this one hex. So many people that like some of them aren't rendering. You're killing people you can't even see. They likely didn't see you either.
What? That's not. What?
Hundreds.
That sounds awful.
Imagine someone calling a max crash. And it goes through several fucking groups, and you get like 600 max come showing up. You're like, oh my god, like.
Oh, but I would love to see it. Is that game still around?
I mean, yeah, we can go play it. I mean, it's free to play still. And so you don't have that many people anymore, but like it's still like there's hundreds of people playing.
Still hundreds of people
at like prime time. You gotta find out what prime time is for that game, and we can play it.
All right, it's 2 a.m. Your time.
No, probably your time.
Probably, you are correct. Yeah, see, Joel knows what I'm talking about. Joel says that the boss that I'm thinking of is called Absolute Virtue. It's from Final Fantasy 11.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's pretty much just a bitch, and it can heal it, at will.
Interesting.
So like, fuck that. That's not fun to me. Like those mega bosses, not fun to me. I've never liked those in video games. Like I'm okay with challenging bosses. I played Dark Souls, but I don't like the mega bosses. I don't think I've ever seriously attempted like an Omega weapon fight in any of the Final Fantasy games or anything like that. Like I've done it for the lulz, but that's it.
It's like the Dark Souls styles games where they're like really hard. Like I'm not in for the challenge. I just want to have some fun with the game. So it's like it's more power to you. If someone else wants to play, that's their. I'm more the kind of games I want to do is I want to cooperate with people. I want to have fun as a group with people. I have very little interest in like solo games for the most part. To me, games bring people together, and that's what I want to do. Be brought together with people through games.
I love that, and like
we were brought together
for the longest time, I was like that, and I still am. Like those are still some of my favorite games. But I wanted to play. I wanted to beat Dark Souls because I could. And Joel is actually the one who gave me my first Dark Souls S game. He gave me Demon Souls. I asked him if I could borrow it, and he's like, "Not only can you borrow it, you can have this fucking piece of trash. I hate this goddamn game." His exact words.
That's great.
And so I did, and I beat it. And like part of the reason I keep playing the Dark Souls games is because it's the only series of video games that I'm better than Joel at. And I gotta keep that edge.
I've never been like very good at video games. I've never beaten Mario 64.
Joel is way better.
I've never beaten a single Mario game actually. Not a single one.
You never beaten a Mario game?
Nope. I never knew for many years. I didn't know that there was even warp pipes. There was no one told me.
Oh, I mean that's true. In all fairness, I've never beaten the first Mario game.
But like I've never been past like World 5 or something like
Mario games.
I've never been through past World 5 without using a fucking warp pipe.
Correct. You know? I haven't either. I've never beaten
terrible. I'll be the first to admit.
I've never beaten 1, 2, or 3. I've beaten Super Mario World and 64. I don't think I've ever beat Sunshine, Odyssey.
I beat SteamWorld Dig. That's about the only game I've beaten in the last couple of years, at least.
Hey, I mean that's fine though.
I got obsessed with that when I played the fuck out of it. I like it. I got SteamWorld League 2, and I was like, yeah, it's alright. It's the same game, but like...
Rogue Legacy?
I beat the first Rogue Legacy. I haven't 100%ed it because I didn't get the 4 special bosses, but I beat everything else.
So there's one lady that I follow on Twitter, and she has gotten like, and you must have probably as well, but like she like beat like the entire game in like 45 minutes, like with like 4 lives or something like that, and I'm like, what? How can you be that good?
Practice.
I yes, listen, I know it's practice, but still, how can you be that good?
Who's got really into the game?
Yes, I know.
There's a lot of game I got really into. I didn't even get into number 2. I was so excited. I played it, and I was like, that was great. But,
yeah. I watched you when it first came out. No, those were. That's
the only time I played it, actually. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know.
Is it the same with Hades? Have you finished the Hades?
Not since I last streamed it for over a month.
That's great. I love it.
I haven't played it over a month.
I haven't played it. I want to, but I didn't have the money when it came out, so now I'm just gonna wait till it goes down like real cheap before I purchase it.
Well, I haven't even turned my Switch, so I'm sure there's an update for it and everything.
I'm sure there is.
I'm just minding. So, I gotta stop eating.
I know that this is off the video game topic real quick, but I saw that you have watched Knives Out. How did you like specifically? Actually, don't even tell me how much you liked it. How much did you like Daniel Radcliffe's Southern accent? Because I know I loved it.
That's not Daniel Radcliffe. That's Daniel Craig.
It's not. It's flipping. It's the other
Craig.
dude. I know.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Same guy.
It's terrible in the best way possible.
Yes,
it flips all over the place. It's great. What I really want is him to do number 2, but he has a completely different accent he does the whole time. And it's never explained why he does it.
That would be so funny.
Because the next 2, Netflix greenlit 2 and 3, and so they're just not going to be connected. There's going to be 2 standalone mysteries like this one. And he's not a detective, so it's taking that trope from like various mediums of detectives where there's not actually cops, but they keep stumbling onto these fucking mysteries.
Yes.
Murder, She Wrote and fucking, I don't know, noir characters are half the time they're not even private detectives. Half the time they're just some dude who's some chick asked him to do something for her, But yeah, it's like I love that trope, and of course a million books, Like my wife was obsessed with that one book with about the cats.
I don't think I know that one.
Siamese cat and another cat, and they're all like really super smart or whatever. Anyway, they're like 20-something books in that series. She read most of them, I think.
I'm glad that you liked his accent, because I love the hell out of that.
Did you like the movie?
I did. I really liked Knives Out.
I'm shocked. You don't usually like good things.
Oh shit! Shots fired.
Shots fired. Yeah. You're like, I mean, like usually, like, hey, it's a big blockbuster, sweet. Anyway,
that was a big blockbuster. It did well in the theaters. I think it was the last movie I've actually seen in theaters. It has
gained such a following via streaming. Like,
it wasn't so good.
It didn't do badly in theaters, but I don't think it was like a blockbuster.
I love it. Like as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it.
People weren't lining up for this movie, like
it was so good.
To be fair, no one lines up for movies right now because we're on a fucking pandemic. But I don't think people would have been lining up for it either. That's 2019, I think it came out, but it's still. Just in quarantine, I've heard so much about it. So I finally need to watch it. Did you see the references to Clue?
Yes.
No. Okay, what are they?
I can't tell everyone.
Oh my god. Okay, sure. All right. So the big thing is that they're all dressed in different colors. So there's a guy in green, and a person in pink, and a person in yellow.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so subtle. I love it.
It's subtle, I love it. Right? Yeah, and then the places where they habitate is like it reflects that part of their personality.
Oh,
it's like,
yes.
Like every shot in that movie is full of like little things. It's a really good goddamn movie. I love Rian Johnson movies, so I don't care what they say about the Star Wars movie. I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. They did a great job.
Trans rights.
So. All right, getting back to the video games.
Brick. Have you seen Brick?
Two topics.
Have you seen Brick?
Brick. Not only have I not seen it, I've never heard of it.
Brick and Looper are Ryan Johnson's like previous films.
Looper is fantastic.
I love Looper. So good.
Looper is great. I don't know. I know it's just prosthetics, but the way that they get what's his face and Bruce Willis to look alike,
Right?
I'm like, what?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think. It's hard to recognize him. The prosthetics were so good. I'm like,
yeah, like the nose.
Neither of them really look 100% like. I think they're both wearing prosthetics to make each other look different. So
yes,
they both look different, but then that prosthetics make them look each same, which is kind of cool.
Yes, it's perfect.
The only Ryan Johnson film I haven't seen is the Brothers Bloom. That's the only one I haven't seen.
You know what? That makes two of us who have not seen the Brothers Bloom.
So, I've seen everything else he's done, movie-wise. I think he's a fantastic director.
Yeah, I've been happy with what I've seen from him. So, what
back to
what is your most favorite or least favorite video game movie tie-in, or other way around? Movie, video game, whatever. Video games and movies.
I feel
the
like
intersection.
Like the best adaptation of a video game to a movie would probably be Doom.
Oh, okay. Doom was better than it had any right to be.
And The Rock is so good.
The Rock was so good.
And the turn with the reveal of The Rock being the hero and not the other guy was like
yes,
so well done. Carl Urban, that's who it was, right? He's the one who gets like executed.
Yes,
I love Carl Urban, so you know.
I really enjoyed the end when they go into Doom mode. That was so good.
Yeah, video game adaptation. I would say
or video games based on movies. You can also talk about those.
Video games based on movies. Jaws on the NES gets undue hate.
I don't think I've ever heard anything one way or the other about it, but it's bad.
Angry Video Game Nerd did an episode on it, I think.
Oh, you know what? You're probably right, but it's been like years since I've watched
it's like season like 3 or something. But yeah, like everyone criticizes the fact that when you're in like the side scroll mode and you're like fighting like all the fish to collect stars, so you can go to port and upgrade your ship to the level so they can stab Jaws. Because it's based on Jaws' Revenge, actually.
Okay.
And so like
is that the third one?
Fourth one.
The
third one's the aquarium.
Oh, that's right.
My favorite one is 3. It's 3D movie, but it also is such my favorite because it's fucking Jaws and SeaWorld. I mean, come on. And it's only tangentially related to the other movies. So
Joel brings up a good point. Jurassic Park for the SNES was probably my favorite video game.
Is that the top-down one or the side-scroll one? There's two of them.
Top-down one.
Top-down one's great. Hard, but great.
It is. I've beat that one.
Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah, you kind of got to do it in one go.
That final boss is a fucking chore.
I don't remember there being a final boss in that.
No, but like not that very. But like there's that boss before the end. Like there's like you have to kill go into the pen and like kill the dinosaurs or whatever.
Yeah, you have to collect all the eggs.
There's one of those. There's one of those modes areas that's just like a pain in the ass. It's like a chore.
Yes, there are. That game, nothing has made me scream quite as much as both the T-Rex popping out and also the Triceratops. Like just bursting out when you're running, and I'm like,
and you're like running, you're on a motorcycle or something with all the dinosaurs moving, or are you just walking? You can't remember.
Walking. That one you just walking. Okay. You can jump.
Is that no? But isn't that sequence where like the dinosaurs are running up the screen and you have to like not get trampled basically? Am I mixing them up again? I might be mixing it up again.
Might be mixing them up. I do not recall that from the SNES version.
Then I'm mixing them up. Excellent. Moving on.
That's fine. I will say that might be a slight cheat because I do think that the SNES version of Jurassic Park is based more on the book than on the movie. Because they have some points that are just from the book that aren't in the movie. But
it probably came out while the movie was still in production or something, you know?
Oh, that could be. That could
be late production, but not out yet type thing.
I played Enter the Matrix. I really liked it, but when I went back and played it later, it was like the hardest game in the entire world. And it's interesting though because you can
Alien 3.
Ooh.
On NES or Genesis, either one. It's side-scrolling like Metroidvania type thing where you're like collecting like various ammo types to shoot the aliens that are following you, and you unlocking corridors and rescuing people and stuff like that. Really good game. Very, very underrated.
I can't say that I've played it. Joel says for the other way around, he rather enjoys the Castlevania TV series.
Have not seen it yet.
I've seen the first episode. or 2 episodes maybe, and I did not get into it. But I think part of that is because I've never played any Castlevania game in my life.
With full earnestness, I love the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Super Mario Brothers movie is a great watch. If you don't, I don't know. I watch it
Just as
kinda
a
like
movie, not anything else, just as a movie. I think it is a good movie. Regardless, it's not a very good adaptation of the game because how do you adapt? How do you adapt that? How? You know?
Not like how they did it. That's for sure.
So it's like, yeah. I mean, how do you adapt that property? It's so hard.
Yeah, yes,
That's my point,
I think it
you
was
know,
a
like-
bold strategy to try to make it look real life like they did.
I would say the best adaptation of a video game to a movie would be Postal, Uwe Boll. It's not really the story of the game, but it's basically like got the same heart of the game where it's this lewd guy and these random missions and trying to do various things. It's I would say it's not very kosher or couth, I should say.
Postal is not a very kosher game.
But there is but like Uwe Boll pokes fun of himself in one scene. He's like doing a local news interview and he's like, so ask him about, is it true you find all your movies with Nazi gold? And like, I can't remember what he says, like, oh, it's true or something like that, right? And there's a sequence where they just shoot a bunch of kids, like just fucking shoot kids, like, and there's a sex cult, and there's, look, it's worth watching. I think it's one of the best ones. It's Uwe Boll's best film by a long shot.
I almost said it's my guilty pleasure, but I was like, no, Elise is gonna punch me if I say that.
That's not a term. You just enjoy what you enjoy.
I really enjoy Resident Evil the movie.
The first one's okay. The others are not. I'm not really.
I
don't like the others. I should say.
I don't remember most of them, but I remember the first one. I mostly like it because I am a sucker for Miss Jovanovic. Like, I do almost anything for her.
I have the Assassin's Creed movie I haven't watched yet.
Play the Fifth Element video game, which is utter trash. Like, don't play that game, everyone. You're just gonna regret it. But it's still
Oh, Fatal Fury, the motion picture. I forgot about that one.
Oh.
I'm looking at Letterboxd. That's an animated one, but I'm looking at Letterboxd Plus because I was like, I can't remember everyone, and then like, oh yeah, I've seen this.
Like, I can't expect me to remember all of those.
Like, oh, I've seen this one. I've seen this one. I'm just finding movies I've already seen already. So
I liked Final Fantasy Spirits Within or Spirited Away or whatever
Spirits Within.
Called.
I saw that in theaters. I thought the CGI blew me the fuck away. It was so good. Like, it was so good. As a movie, it was just so good. It's not in any way a good adaptation of the property, but at the same time, it is because each rendition of the property is unique to some degree,
and it was vaguely fantasy based. And I'm like, all right, there you go.
I think they wanted like Final Fantasy VII the movie, and that's not what was going to happen.
No,
not for a while.
And
it did
Final
happen.
Fantasy VII is not that great of a game.
They did do that. They did what is it, Advent Children or whatever it's called?
That's true. They did make one.
That was that. So they finally got what they wanted. Like, okay, that's what you wanted. Well, fantastic. I'm glad everyone could be happy at this point, you know?
No, you can't expect people to be happy.
Let's see here. Double Dragon's a lot of fun. Street Fighter's a lot of fun, but not necessarily because they're good. I need to rewatch Wing Commander because I saw that in theaters, and I thought it was pretty good, but I haven't seen it since. So,
have you watched the new Mortal Kombat?
Not yet. Just came out.
Didn't it? Me neither. Did it? I thought it came out at the same time that King Kong did.
Did it?
But I couldn't remember. I want to watch it. I think it's going to be fun and entertaining. And you know what? I have HBO Max. I might do that this weekend. See if I can't convince the missus. Joel here is saying, oh, you know, Joel brings up a good point. I think I've seen a couple episodes of it. The Mega Man TV series. That I do remember as being halfway decent.
Wasn't there a game based off it called Battle Grid or whatever, Network Grid or something? Network Battle.
I've heard that Battle Grid is
Network
a
Battle.
fantastic.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Like I
played whatever Game Boy Advance one of those. I played that.
Yeah,
one.
they're like an RPG for the Mega Man universe. I think.
This is not the. Where's the Street Fighter movie I remember? What the fuck? Where's the animated one?
They made an animated one.
They made like 5 different animated ones.
Oh, that's even better.
That's Battle Arena Toshinden. Oh, here it is. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. That's what I was looking for. I'm gonna make sure I actually logged that. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract everyone.
No, it's fine.
Eyeball. Like, I didn't like any of the Resident Evil movies, like, after the first.
Yeah,
The third one was
makes sense.
like a Nanar masterpiece, maybe, but like it's not my kind of film to watch. You know, like I didn't really enjoy it. Like my friend enjoyed it; he was laughing the whole time. Stabman was enjoying it the whole time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched them all while drinking heavily, so like that's part of the reason why I
That
liked all of them.
is a good. That would be the perfect way to watch it, honestly. Yeah,
Boom, there you go.
I am definitely okay with that. Prince of Persia is probably one of the worst I've seen because it's basically a bunch
Oh,
of
you know,
yellow,
I've heard
bunch
some
of
bad
yellow
stuff.
face happening, and it's like oof,
I
brown
have
face
wanted
and
to watch
a
the
bunch of
World of
everyone's. No
Warcraft.
one's playing the race. It's like everyone's playing someone else's race, and it's like why? You could have cast literally great stars for these roles, but like you decided to go with Jake Gyllenhaal for some reason.
For some reason, you couldn't go with anyone else.
And also, on top of all that, it was not a good movie. It just wasn't.
Man, and someone's like, I bet they wish they could go back in time and just remake it, huh?
I mean, they could just do a new one. I'd be cool with that. Need for
They
Speed.
could.
The Need for Speed movie is pretty good. Like it was Fast and Furious. It was,
Made Need for Speed movie. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
it's basically it's a diet Fast and Furious. So it's like it's a 6 out of 10. It's like yeah, it's all right. It's enjoyable. You know, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is. You won't regret watching it, but maybe it won't be your favorite. It might be your favorite. Some good car stunts in there.
What about the best-selling box office hit of 2020, Sonic the Hedgehog?
Really good movie. Detective Pikachu was really good. Warcraft is really good.
Pikachu was so good.
Warcraft is really good.
Is it? I haven't watched that one.
Rampage is really good. Like we've gotten some really, really good video game adaptations in the last few years. You know.
How do you feel about Super Star Wars video games?
I
do you
have
hate
all
them or
3 of them. 2 of them I have box. One of them I have complete.
have you beaten like the first level?
Yeah. No. No. Who the fuck has
Me
time
neither.
to do that? There's a lot of fucking. That's a lot of movie. That's a lot of game to play. It's a hard fucking game.
Yeah, it's a ridiculously hard game.
Astronomically hard. It's so hard. Sonic or the recent Tomb Raider. I need to see the new Tomb Raider. It's actually The Witcher. That's based on it's based on series, but I guess but the show is definitely influenced by the games.
By the game.
So
yes.
I think it's safe to say that it's based on a series of games which are based on a book, but yes, it's based on the games for sure. I also at the series, so I mean we were talking about movies, but I haven't seen The Witcher. I need to. Monster Hunter really, huh?
As well. Megan won't watch it until she reads the series. So it's gonna be a while before I.
Have you seen Monster Hunter yet?
No, I have not. It didn't really pique my interest because I'm trash at all the Monster Hunter games because those controls.
Well,
they don't work with my hands.
Me either. I didn't like it either. But also, the movie looks nothing like the game, so it looks like it's just a fun little monster movie. Like I looked at it, I'm like, okay, like realistically, this is like this is nothing like the game. I mean, there's probably some monsters from the game, right?
Yes.
But like, that's it. Everything else is gonna be its own thing, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. It might be good by its own self, like this Mario Brothers movie, where it's just like a cool cyberpunk movie. That's all. Mario Brothers movie is just a cool cyberpunk movie. They just happen to have some references to the Mario Brothers games in it.
Okay, and then
Mario Punk, if you will.
Let's end our stream
fuck.
with this thought experiment.
Oh boy.
If you could turn any video game into a movie, what movie would it be? Well, what video game would it be? If you would like to cast some of the stars in it, you certainly could.
I would do Twisted Metal, the movie.
Oh my goodness, that would be such a good movie.
And I would make it as fast and frenetic as Fury Road.
I love that. I love that.
And I would focus on like maybe Outlaw or one of the human characters as a grounding point, you know.
What is that the clown with the head?
No. Outlaw's like the cop or whatever. He's usually like a red or a black car.
Okay, got it.
Like Mr. Grimm, he's a fucking Grim Reaper and a fucking motorcycle, and then there's also this guy who drives around a hearse who's probably undead too. The flaming clown head guy is definitely not human if his head's on fire all the time. Something's up with that. So like, you know, and I'm not gonna explain any of those elements. Who gives a shit? This dude's head, his hair is just fire. Just That's it. There's no other
That's it.
explanation. That's it. His
No,
hair is fire.
That doesn't need to be.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, Dark Side. He's like some weird specter who drives a truck. I mean, like, there's Axel, who's this weird guy trapped in his own vehicle. Like, he is the Axel for his vehicle, which is why his name's Axel.
That's terrifying.
The two big wheel guys. So like, you have all these interesting characters where you can just don't give any information about. Just these are the people who live in this crazy ass wasteland world.
So my first guess at this would be Fallout, but that's not going to be my final answer. Final answer is the nations of the world must team up to stop the worst nuclear terrorist of all time, Gandhi, from destroying freedom and love throughout all of society.
What?
And it's called Civilizations: The Rise of Gandhi.
Oh
The
my
Rise and
God.
Fall of Gandhi.
That's right.
And
You're just angry because he nuked you several times in one turn.
It's not just me. Everyone who played old school Civ will understand that reference.
What? You're gonna do a whole movie based on one reference?
Listen, yes. Did you see?
I mean, it does sound like your style, to be fair.
Movie? I think they literally only, like, if you took away Mario from that movie, I don't think you could tell that was a Mario Bros. Movie.
That's my point. That's why I said it's a good movie as a movie, not necessarily as the Mario Brothers. So, like if I had like another game, like maybe a more recent game, like Dishonored would be really cool. I know it's already supposed to be getting a movie, supposedly, maybe someday. Borderlands is supposed to be getting something, but like, Jesus Christ,
That could be good.
I need
That
like,
would be a really good like cartoon. Like,
yeah, I need a
or, like,
cell
an
shaded show. That'd be cool. The whole
Yeah,
show
yeah,
like
it
it
would.
looks like it's in the game engine, but different, but actually animated.
Yes.
But
yeah,
animated
I
like
would
like a real animated show, of course. Just gotta have that look of cell shading. I think a whole show based on cell shading would be really cool.
Just give me Final Fantasy
Cell
X.
shading. I mean, I get the idea that the cell shading is a style like video games look like cartoons, but making the cartoon look like the cell shaded video game is what I'm talking about. Would be really cool.
Yes. Yes.
Until Dawn is pretty much already a movie, though. You get to just choose what happens. I think though that's a great fucking game, though. Until Dawn, you played that?
Never played it.
It's a horror game.
That's probably
With
why
branching
I haven't played
storylines and stuff. So you do certain things in certain order, you do certain other things, or you fail at certain things. Different things happen. It's really fun to watch. So I recommend actually going and just watching someone play it, though. It is worth watching.
it. You know what would
Good
be
story.
a good movie?
Yeah.
Like, and this
I've
might
seen
be
5
cheating
or
a
6
little.
different versions of it now.
But the new Star Wars game that came out, Star Wars something
Starfighters or whatever.
No, it's the one where you're a Jedi after the Order 66, and you're trying
I
to
don't fucking
find.
know.
Why can't I think of it? It's like the most
Oh,
recent.
the
Star
new
Wars
one.
game.
You mean the Fallen Order or whatever it's called?
Yeah, the Fallen Order. Yeah,
It's
you
called
just
Fallen
turn
Over
that-
and Over. Actually, I think my friend called it Jedi Knight Fallen Over and Over.
Fall over a lot in it. But it was a really solid game. I really love that game.
Yeah, I watched someone play it. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know, Mike. I couldn't remember Fallen Order. If it weren't
Somebody
for Mike, yeah, Mike was the one he said it. I was like, oh, right, Fallen Order. That's right. I should.
Fallen Order. Yes,
I definitely should
love
remember
it.
that.
I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
But okay, any last words of wisdom for video game based topics?
What? Sorry, ADHD. What happened?
Any last words of wisdom for our video game based topics for tonight?
I don't know. I don't know. There's no such thing as bad art. There's no such thing as like a bad game or bad movie.
Huzzah!
There's only a thing that's not for you, and that's okay too.
I have a movie you should never ever watch. I don't have that. I don't have a video game you should never ever play. So,
what movie should you never ever watch?
You may have forgotten it, but it's called The Killing of a Sacred Deer. You should
Oh
never
my
watch
god! Every time you remind me, I'm remembered the trauma of hearing you fucking prattle on about that beautiful piece of art in such a fucking insidious, demeaning way. God,
it's just so bad. Just don't.
No,
do it. Don't
stop. That's not true.
It's terrible. But I don't have a video game that's like that. There's a video game out there for everyone. So that's my advice.
God damn it! It's just art's just not for you, man. That art is not for you.
Art is not
no,
for me.
That art is not for you. Specifically, that movie. His art is probably not for you. You probably won't like The Lobster. You probably won't like Dogtooth. You'll probably be really weirded out by Dogtooth. I mean, Dogtooth's really weird. And, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you, everybody, for showing up. We'll see you next week at 8 p.m. Pacific. No, it's 5 p.m. Pacific, excuse me.
8 p.m. Eastern.
There you go. I was hoping you'd jump in there.
Yeah, there we go. I'm there.
Yeah. Two translators talking nerdy.
What should I say? Oh, stay safe, stay healthy, and I love y'all.
Toodles.
Bye.